Hi, welcome to my channel, To and Fro. I am going to tap into the Divine Masculine's energy using the Heart's Hidden Secrets Oracle. I'm going to pull 3 cards, and then I will clarify with Tarot. And at the end, I will then pull a couple of messages from the Divine Masculine. All right, let's get started. Spirit, what energy is the Divine Masculine currently in? Spirit, please let me know what energy is surrounding the Divine Masculine. 3 cards, please, Spirit. 3 cards. Energy is surrounding the Divine Masculine. Okay, we have clinging, holding on, obsessing, spying. All right, 2 more cards, please. Energy that either Divine Masculine is in, energies that are surrounding the Divine Masculine. Ooh, we have karma, consequences, cause and effect, debts. 1 more, please, Spirit. Thank you. 1 more, energy either the Divine Masculine is in or surrounding the Divine Masculine. We have here open heart, receptive, empathy, and vulnerable. Okay, and we have trapped, stuck, tied down, captive at the bottom of the deck. Okay. Ooh. Clinging, karma, open heart, and then trapped. Oh, this is going to be interesting. Immediately, from this, I'm getting that the Divine Masculine is dealing with some karma, the consequences of their actions. They may have racked up some karmic debt that they are currently paying for right now. Clinging. Now, I don't know if this energy is, it says holding on, obsessing, and spying. This could very well be the Divine Masculine, or this could be someone in the Divine Masculine's energy. And somebody is clinging on to them. Or they're clinging on to someone, or they're clinging on to you, Divine Feminine. I'm not really sure. We'll clarify. We have here open heart, receptive, empathy, vulnerable. This is immediately signaling to me that I feel that what is this, the twin flame journey, the spiritual journey. This is opening up the Divine Masculine's heart chakra. So, but they may very well be stuck in a situation right now, because we have here stuck, tied down, and captive, or trapped. So I'm getting that the Divine Masculine is feeling trapped in a situation, a relationship, trapped to a karmic third party. All right, let's clarify. Can we clarify clinging, please, Spirit? 2 cards. We have the Star. Ooh. Alrighty. One more for clinging. 1 more, Spirit. Oh, we have Judgment. Wow. 2 major arcanas. A Star is Aquarius. Judgment. I gotta learn the signs that are associated with the cards here. But we do have the Star and the Judgment. And I know that the star is Aquarius. Can we please clarify karma, please, Spirit? 2 cards to clarify karma. 2 cards, please. Oop, okay. We have 7 of Swords. Oh, wow. It's fitting. 7 of Swords. 1 more, please, for karma. We have here Ace of Cups, and we have 5 of Cups at the bottom of the deck. Wow. So 5 of Cups, feeling loss, regret, left. This is not left out on cold. This is this feeling loss, regret, crying over spilled milk. I think that would make sense with karma, right? They would feel regretful about this because it's the consequences of a decision that they made. So maybe whatever decision they made, they're now having to deal with the effects of that. And they're feeling very, you know, they're experiencing some sort of loss and regret from that now. You know, I'm hearing like shoulda, coulda, woulda, like I shouldn't have done that, or, you know. Clarify open heart. Ooh. The Moon. 1 more for open heart, please. Oh, wow. I have here 6 of Pentacles. Interesting. We have 5 of Cups at the bottom of the deck again. Okay, we're gonna keep that in mind. Moon, 6 of Pentacles. Something about, yeah, I think like with their heart chakra opening, this is something that, okay, we will get to this. Let me go ahead and get all the cards out. Just remember 5 of Cups at the bottom of the deck for both. Trapped. Clarify trapped, please, Spirit. Clarify trapped. Okay. Oh, wow, we have 10 of Cups. 1 more. Clarify trap, please, Spirit. What is the energy? Ooh, okay, we have 3 cards. Okay, we're back. We have 3 cards for trapped. We have 10 of Cups, Knight of Wands, and 4 of Cups. And at the bottom of the deck, we have Knight of Swords. Okay. All right. So for here, we have clinging, holding on, obsessing, and spying. We have this being clarified by the Star and Judgment. So there's something that they're needing to heal from. They're facing judgment. They're waking up. And I'm trying to figure out the clinging, holding on, obsessing, and spying. Immediately, I'm thinking that this is a karmic feminine energy and the divine masculine's energy. And the reason why I am coming to that conclusion is because the overall energy is trapped. So this divine masculine is feeling trapped by a feminine that won't let go. There is a karmic feminine that is holding on to them, obsessing over them. And this is a situation, you know, that is also helping the divine masculine to wake up. You know, it's not just the twin flame. I mean, so the divine feminine is the catalyst for the divine masculine's awakening. Yes. Trust and believe that karmics also play a role in the twin flame journey. So in separation, this more than likely this is a no contact reading, and the divine masculine may have rejected you and vice versa. But they are more than likely like dealing with another feminine, and it's a karmic feminine, and through this relationship they are learning, they're waking up to their need to heal. You know, it's like, why did they reject the divine feminine and then end up with a karmic feminine? You know, why would the divine masculine choose that? Right? And the reason being is they're wounded. You know, they're making decisions that aren't even the best decisions. And the reason why and this is essentially them self-sabotaging. They're self-sabotaging themselves from having, you know, this beautiful divine love. And instead, they're choosing a karmic. You know, a love that honestly, they're not even, you know, they're in this Four of Cups energy, which we'll get to, but they're not even feeling very, you know, happy. They're not feeling fulfilled. But that's what they chose over the divine feminine, which is their person, a divine connection. You know, only a person that is wounded, a person that is, you know, broken would make such a decision, right? So, as I was saying, trust and believe that this karmic feminine is playing a very important role in this divine masculine's awakening. So now, due to this situation, you know, where the divine masculine is not feeling very fulfilled, not feeling very happy, and this karmic feminine is probably, you know, making things difficult, and clinging, right? So this is also, they're holding on, they're obsessing, they're making things very challenging for this divine masculine to move on. And, you know, maybe now the divine masculine is having to face themselves. They're having to ask themselves, you know, why am I with this person? Why did I choose this person over the divine feminine? You know, and now they're having to face themselves. They're probably realizing they're making, you know, nonsensical decisions in love and life, due to some sort of wounds that they're carrying. You know, they're unhealed wounds that are probably stemming from, you know, it's either childhood wounds, maybe wounds from, you know, past relationships, you know, it could be anything, friendships, family. And these are wounds that the divine masculine has failed to address. They have failed to heal this. And they're just going about, you know, just navigating life. And it's, you know, more than likely it's in a way that's it's very reckless, and it's very, you know, they're not placing themselves in relationships, situations that benefit them. So this is more than likely a karmic path, a karmic situation, more than like a relationship that is, you know, making them realize just how unhealed they are, and, you know, it's waking them up. And the decision that they made, you know, to be with this karmic feminine over the divine feminine, it's just that, it's karma. They're now having to deal with the consequences of their actions, the consequences of their decision. And they're, you know, dealing, and it says here, cause and effect and debts. This is being clarified by Seven of Swords, Ace of Cups. And so that Seven of Swords is what? Lying, cheating, stealing, betrayal. And this may very well be the energy that the divine masculine was in. And they've also, you know, that saying, hurt people hurt people. So while they're in this Seven of Swords energy, they've just been hurting people, you know, getting themselves into probably not the best situations, obviously. And then they're now dealing with the karma of that. Also, it says debts here, and I'm getting with the Seven of Swords, like, you know, they basically have been racking up karmic debt, and now it's time to pay up. We have here Ace of Cups. I'm kind of seeing this Ace of Cups as being, it would probably be reverse due to that it's like surrounded by karma, Seven of Swords. So I get that this is, once again, like self-sabotage. It's a lack of self-love. Also, this is also just kind of like them sort of maybe lying, cheating, and stealing in love situations. And maybe that's the karmic debt that they have been racking up. Maybe they have been stepping out of this relationship that they're currently in with the karmic feminine. And this also may very well, you know, when I see this clinging card, it makes me think of anxious attachment. It also makes me think of the Queen of Cups reverse. So that could be a feminine that is very clingy and and needy. So they very well, that's also their karma, since the divine masculine is in the Seven of Swords energy, they are triggering this karmic feminine's anxious attachment. And maybe that's why this feminine is clinging and, you know, obsessing and holding on to the divine masculine. I feel that I'm sort of getting, since this is being clarified by Judgment and the Star, this may be, I'm getting that this is something that the divine masculine probably has been doing for a very long time, but they met a karmic feminine that is probably the worst. You know what I mean? This karmic feminine may very well Like maybe, yeah, okay, they trigger the anxious attachment in feminines, and you know, they leave like a string of broken hearts, and they get feminines to chase them, to feel clingy towards them. But they may very well have ran into a feminine that might be clinging on to them, so like to the point where it's scary. You know, like we're talking like a stalker. And maybe that might be the very karma that this divine masculine is now dealing with. And maybe this is sort of shocking this divine masculine to the point where, you know, they're starting to question themselves, like, why did I do this? Why did I get myself into this, you know, how did I get myself into this situation? You know, why do I do this? They're probably, it's to the point where this feminine is so intense that it's waking this masculine up. So I feel like the situation that they're dealing with, divine feminine, it may very well even be, you know, somewhat dangerous if this is a feminine that's like, you know, I mean, I don't want to say it, but she might be the type to be like, well, if I can't have you, nobody can, you know, that sort of thing. So I don't know, like it might be a little scary right now for this divine masculine. So I will say, divine feminine, on that note, if this is the case with the divine masculine, this is not going to be everybody's story, but I will say, if this is the case, divine feminine, be happy that you're not dealing with the divine masculine right now. I mean, I'm sure you've heard of that term, that saying where they say rejection is protection. So if the divine masculine rejected you, you may very well want to view that from the perspective of that you are being protected. Because if this divine masculine is dealing with, say, you know, a very obsessive karmic feminine, you do not want to get in the way of that. You do not want to be a part of that. That, you know, that could get really scary real fast. But I will say this karmic feminine is doing their job. It looks like this divine masculine is waking up. And they're seeing like the error in their ways. But and we have here the Knight of Swords at the bottom of the deck. So that's an energy of like rushing, you know, hitting the ground running. It's sort of this, it's an energy of like, do now, ask questions later. So I feel with this energy being at the bottom of the deck, this divine masculine, they're probably dealing with a very scary situation right now with the karmic feminine. And they're feeling the urgency to get out of this, to remove themselves from this situation. So right here we have here the open heart, receptive, empathy, and vulnerable. And that's being clarified by the Moon and Six of Pentacles. I believe that like since this divine masculine is waking up, what they are waking up to is that they desire a more healthier, happier, more fulfilling love. You know, they want this is also like it's opening their heart chakra. Maybe they're like comparing you, divine feminine, to this karmic feminine. And the more they think about you, that probably opens up their heart. And this may very well, like, I know this may sound weird because after describing this situation, but this is probably, you know, with the Moon card, with their heart chakra opening, this is probably something that they fear. You know, maybe they have like a bit of like a fear of commitment, a fear of like a true, genuine, authentic love. This is something they probably haven't really experienced before. And not so much just being scared of the love itself, but they might even be scared because they're like, if they're in this Seven of Swords energy, they're scared to mess this up with you, Divine Feminine. But this is something I feel like this is a love that they've never experienced before. And they're like, you know, this is also very spiritual. So this is, you know, spirit is nudging them. Spirit is sort of like speaking to them through their intuition, through their soul, and is guiding them, right? So they're like, it's like they're experiencing this darkness right now, but they're being nudged to, as they say with the Moon card, you know, walk into the unknown, walk towards, you know, walks towards the light. And they're wanting to, you know, now they're like, because I see the word here, receptive. And so that actually makes me think of like the Six of Pentacles. So it's like that equal give and take. They're now realizing that they want a love that is an equal give and take. And that is, you know, as I was saying, is more healthy, it's happier. And maybe this divine masculine, now that they're awakening, they're starting to feel, they're awakening and their heart chakra is opening. So they're starting to feel more vulnerable, empathetic. And they're now like desiring a more solid foundation, a more give and take in a love situation. And here at the bottom of the deck, we have here trapped. So as I was saying before, they're experiencing this darkness. They feel like they're trapped with this karmic feminine. And we have here the Ten of Cups, which is clarifying the trapped card. So this could signal to me that, and this, like I said, this is not going to resonate with everybody, but this divine masculine could very well feel trapped to a karmic feminine because they probably have a child or children with this karmic feminine. They may have had a child with a karmic feminine when they were in this Knight of Wands energy. So they were very much like in this sort of player energy, you know, very unsettled, very unserious. And that also may be their karma, is that they ended up having, you know, maybe they were very reckless and they may ended up having a child with a karmic feminine. And so now they feel trapped, and now they're in this Four of Cups energy where they feel very like, you know, bored and apathetic, unfulfilled, because they can't just, you know, up and leave because now they have a child with a person that they don't even want to be with. So that's probably like where this that's may very well be the reason why they feel trapped and unhappy now. And it was because they were in this Knight of Wands energy. So they were very irresponsible. But I feel like now they're feeling they're feeling the urgency. They're waking up, their heart chakra is opening, and they're feeling the urgency now to get themselves out of this situation, right? They want to put forth the effort. They want to put forth, you know, the work to do whatever they need to do to get out of, to remove themselves from a karmic feminine and be with you, divine feminine, right? Because you would be their wish fulfillment. So what I'm getting is that this divine masculine is, they're dealing with a lot, and they're feeling trapped, but they are, you know, getting a nudge from spirit. They're starting to, you know, feel like they want so much more for themselves. They want better for themselves. But they really have to put forth like a major effort to remove themselves from this situation. And it may be very, very, very difficult because, you know, if there is a child involved and they feel trapped, you know, this is a feminine that's, you know, not letting go, very obsessive, and may very well even be like making threats, saying, you know, if you leave me, then, you know, I don't know, maybe then like you're not going to see your child again or something like that, you know, I don't know. Like I said, this reading is not for everybody, but that could very well be going on, and they're having to figure something out and be very strategic, right? That's also another thing with this Seven of Swords. Like maybe in dealing with this karmic feminine, they're having to be very resourceful, very strategic in trying to, you know, get out of this situation. All right, I'm going to close out the reading with 3 cards, and then I'm going to get a couple of messages from the divine masculine. All right, spirit, please close out this reading with 3 cards, please. Close out this reading with 3 cards. Energy surrounding the divine masculine. Energy that the divine masculine is in. Please let us know. We have 6 of Cups. 10 of Wands at the bottom of the deck. So immediately I get with this that this is a past situation. Like this may very well be a karmic feminine that this divine masculine has history with. And so this is a past person that is a current person that they're still dealing with, that they're probably stuck with. They have a kid with this person and they're feeling very burdened. They're wanting to release this burden now. So I feel like the 6 of Cups is pretty much, you know, describing this karmic feminine. It's almost like they feel stuck in the past. 2 more, please, Spirit. 2 more. Ooh. All right, we have here the Empress. We have 2 of Cups reverse. 3 of Pentacles reverse. 5 of Swords reverse. Yeah, okay. Because I only read my cards upright, you know, normally, like I said, I would normally be like, oh, divine feminine, you're the Empress. Yes, you are the Empress. But the Empress can also represent a mother figure. So this is just confirming that the divine masculine is feeling very trapped to a past person, and it's because this person is the mother of their child, and that is why they're feeling trapped. So I feel like this is just confirmation with the Empress coming out. And then we have the Two of, what is this? The Two of Cups reverse. So this is saying that they are no longer with this karmic feminine. It is a relationship that has not worked out. It didn't work out. But they are tied. They are trapped. So that this is, you know, they're feeling trapped. They are tied to a past person right now, and it's due to a child. But they are no longer with this person. This is somebody that they didn't feel like they were a good match with. This is somebody they didn't feel like they could build, you know, build a life with. And we have here Five of Swords reverse. So this is more than likely they're like moving on from this, at least trying to. But yeah, I'm getting that this is an Empress. This is a mother figure, I'm just gonna say a baby mama, the mother of their child that, yeah, they're no longer in a relationship with. It didn't work out. But, you know, just because they're not with this person, you know, because they have a child with this person, this feminine may very well be like, you know, still clinging to them and using the fact that they have a child as a way to keep this divine masculine stuck. One more, please. One more. Please close this out for me, Spirit. Ooh. Oh. I have your Eight of Wands. So that could be like fast-paced movement, moving forward. We have here Eight of Cups reverse. This also could be communication. Why are we ending on that note, Spirit? Eight of Cups. We have 8-8. Yeah, I feel like I said, this was a relationship that didn't work out. So this is the divine masculine walking away. They are removing themselves out of this situation. This is walking away from people, places, and things that no longer serve you. So I feel like this Eight of Wands is just confirming like they are moving forward. Mind you, before I started, you know, pulling the 3 cards, we had the Knight of Swords at the bottom of the deck. So once again, that's like that fast-paced energy. And you also get that with the Eight of Wands. So it's like this fast forward movement. So I feel like they are trying to remove themselves from this karmic feminine quickly. You know, they want to get out of this situation as fast as they can. They're probably having a difficult time though, due to the fact that they are permanently tied to this karmic feminine through a child. Therefore, they're also tied to this karmic feminine financially as well. And I'm just saying that we don't even have Pentacles here really. Well, we have the Six of Pentacles. So that could very well also mean that they're like, you know, giving to another situation. But I feel like this is a situation that this karmic path is a path that they want to quickly remove themselves from. So they've learned the lesson. I mean, they're continuing to learn the lesson, right? They're trying to, you know, be strong, be courageous, hold it together. But yeah, that's basically what is going on with the divine masculine. So sorry, I wish I had better news, but they are very much still stuck and dealing with a karmic feminine, more than likely. But they're putting forth the effort. They've waken up, and they're learning their lesson, and now their heart chakra is opening and stuff. They're realizing like what it is that they actually do want versus what they don't want. So they're now trying to, put forth the effort to try to make things right for themselves, for everybody involved. So that may include like their kids, themselves, for you, Divine Feminine. All right, I'm now gonna pull just several messages based off of this reading. And we're gonna see what messages the Divine Masculine has for the Divine Feminine. Okay, let me go ahead and kind of just go ahead and shuffle this. All right. What messages does the Divine Masculine have for the Divine Feminine? All right. Okay. First message is, I'm learning to release control and trust the divine. Oh, that's good to hear. So yeah, that really just speaks to them waking up, opening up to this twin flame connection, the experience, the journey. I see now how much I wounded you with my confusion and fear. I never meant to hurt you. I was just lost. Okay, so that really speaks to that Seven of Swords energy. So Divine Feminine, when you met the Divine Masculine, they were still in the Seven of Swords, Knight of Wands energy. And they wounded you because they were wounded. They were unhealed, right? And so they're saying that they were confused and fearful. And in a way, they're apologizing for hurting you. All right, one more message. What messages does Divine Masculine have for the Divine Feminine? It says here, at first, I didn't understand the depth of this connection. Every day apart has become a lesson in love, pain, and growth. So yeah. So exactly, they're learning the lesson. They are learning the karma lessons, the karmic lessons. And it says here, a lesson in love, pain, and growth. So slowly but surely, that's opening their heart. They're now, like I said earlier, they're having to face themselves and face the reason why they made the decisions that they've made. Because, like I said, they chose a karmic feminine over the divine feminine. And, they're saying, well, I didn't understand this connection, at first. All right, we have the moon card here. This really goes to show just how much like they were in the dark and this was unknown to them, this love, having such these deep feelings for you, Divine Feminine. Like I said, they probably have never experienced this before. So this is just very unknown to them. They didn't understand it at first, but now they're starting to. All right, and at one last message at the bottom of the deck, It says here, I chose money, materialism, and my ego over you. So yeah. And like I said, they were in this sort of Knight of Wands, Seven of Swords energy. So it makes a lot of sense that they chose, you know, very superficial things over such a deep love connection. But all right, it looks like they have a lot of work to do still, but they are awake. They are, you know, doing the work. So on that note, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you for tuning in, and I will see you in the next reading. All right, bye.